Councillor Diane P. LeBlanc.
Present.
Kristine A. Mackin. Absent. Joseph P. LaCava. Absent. Cathyann Harris.
Present.
Present. Mr. Chairman, you have 3 members present, 1 absent. You have a quorum.
Wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, if I could know, Ward 5 Councillor is next door in another meeting where a matter related to his ward is being discussed.
Okay, thanks very much. Oh, is anyone recording the meeting? Can you please identify yourself for the record?
Chris Gamble recording the meeting.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gamble. Okay, I'd like to, Councillor Harris would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from 6/30/2019. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. If the clerk could please call the first matter.
Yes, there was a 1725 petition on Hope Ave.
Is the petitioner here?
Nick Skoly from BHP representing Children's Hospital.
Okay, great, thank you. Excuse me a second. Is the paperwork all in order?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, do you have a presentation for us?
Yeah, so gave a presentation last week to the committee of the whole. There were 2 questions that came out of that. Ward Councillor Logan requested that we ensure the work does not interfere with the MBTA bus service. The petitioner agreed and will provide a police detail allowing the service to continue through Hope Ave, adjacent to South Street there. The other question was from Councillor Mackin, who requested that we look into the possibility of a east-west crosswalk. We agreed to look into that and actually have a letter from our traffic engineers.
Wonderful. Got enough copies?
I think there's 10 copies there.
Perfect.
If you need more, let us know. We can bring them next week as
No,
well.
that's fine.
But basically, the traffic engineers do not recommend a crosswalk at that location, and cited a number of different issues: stopping sight distance, signalized crossings nearby, and pedestrian volumes don't warrant that crossing.
Is this Ward 9 or is this Ward 7? Anybody know?
It sort of straddles the 2. I think the building itself is in 9, but then there's 7 over this one, so it's
Okay. Did, Mr. Clerk, do you know if either Mr. Logan or Ms. Mackin is in the other room?
She's not here tonight.
She's not here tonight. Remember Councilor Logan?
No.
So Logan's absent.
And neither one of them contacted me with any issues, so
So we have no issues from the ward councilors?
not that I'm.
Make a motion for approval.
Councilor LeBlanc has made a motion for approval. On the motion, all those in favor?
Just
With
quickly.
all of the appropriate conditions.
Okay.
With the conditions.
With all of the standard conditions.
So that would be either flowable fill or compactable dirt and infrared seams. Is the petitioner okay with that?
We agree to that.
Wonderful. With the standard appropriations as written.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? With that, you're approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, you have a resolution on Howard Street flooding by Councilor Mackin.
Okay, I believe I have the resolution handy. Does the clerk have it handy to?
I have her the councilor sent me draft amended language.
Oh, perfect.
So this is her language as amended in the be it resolved.
There was, if I recall correctly, there was an issue with the be it resolved, requesting that the engineering department request funds, which possibly the president stated it would have to be either readdressed or ruled out of order. And let's see if this was written. Be resolved, the city council will treat the residents on Howard Street with the same protection from flood, sewage, debris, and backup afforded to those in the Lexington Street area where the work includes in the water main, School Street, Lexington Street, and sewer main,
The amended sections down here.
oh, here it is. Be it resolved, the city of Waltham has evidence from the work about to commence of the off-farm streets that it can actually do a lot, include Howard Street in the water and sewer master plan to once for all the concepts in those pipes in the water main Councillor LeBlanc.
Mr. Chairman, I mean, just in the interest of parliamentary procedures and whatnot, this resolution was not ruled out of order. Right?
Correct.
The president referred it to
Yes,
committee.
that is correct.
Right, so the ward councilor can certainly amend if they choose,
Yes.
but at this level, a committee chair can't rule it out of order. So whether the councilor amends it or not, it's a resolution that's before us,
Mhm.
but it seems that she does want to amend it, so that's fine. Is the
You want me
councilor
find
here
the
to
councilor?
amend and speak on it?
Let's see, and if not, we can table it until she can, well, we can take a vote to see where we wanna go forth if she's not available. Now,
Here she's talking about the chimney at the mill.
okay? Because,
But again, if we were gonna rule it out of order, he would have had to rule it out
that
of
is
order.
correct,
One of
you gave us some leeway. Now, include Howard Street in the water in master plan.
I think the founding fathers thought the 14th Amendment would be about sewage.
Why don't we table this and do some other
I was just
stuff?
gonna say,
Okay.
I find this not productive.
Okay.
Let's table the matter.
She's questioning someone
Motion
about
to
the.
table.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion to table. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion has been tabled. And
We're
for,
off the table, ladies.
we're on to tabled items, and Councillor Harris makes a motion to collectively take from the table the Carrington Road, the Glen Circle, the resolution on the administrative consent order update, the Priscilla Lane, Mountain Road, Crestview Road, Carroll Lane, Brenner Road, and Golden Crust. And did that include Eleanor Circle?
No.
And Eleanor Circle?
Really on that circle?
Yes. I apologize.
One circle.
Yeah, leave Eleanor Circle on there. Take one circle off, I'm not sure about that one. Would Councillor Harris like to make a motion to file all of these? Now, Hope, before we take that, does the combining or adding to
We can do that after.
Golden, you can do that after? Okay.
We need to vote on the motion to take them off the table collectively.
So, on the motion, take one off. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Yes, have it.
Motion to file.
Councillor Harris makes a motion to file. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. With that, you have filed it.
We don't need a motion to adopt those other ones.
And Councillor Harris makes a motion to take the resolution dated 6/18/2018, betterments on Brennan Mountain Road, Crestview, and Midland off the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, you're taking that off the table. Councillor Harris makes a motion to add Golden Crust, Priscilla, and Carroll to that, to combine the two. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So we combine those. With that, is there any other business? Councillor LeBlanc?
Mr. Chairman, I move to take the matter of converting private waste to public waste from the table.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Mr. Chairman, after our last meeting, I had indicated that I would, go back to the city clerk and find out how they were progressing on doing their review of private ways. And the clerk did confirm, the clerk himself has done some work around some of the streets, and I believe maybe the assistant city clerk had expended some effort where he could find some resources to do some streets. but they had made a determination that it was time consuming, and with everything else going on, including upcoming elections, they really did need to bring in some outside resources. So a request was made in this year's budget for $15,000, and it wasn't approved. It was not approved. So now the city clerk will go back with his staff and sort of reassess how they can move this forward. I would also like to note, and I left it in the other room, my apologies. I'll have the clerk make some copies and send it out to the committee members. It's a document, what I'm calling the myth of the certified street listing. And there's been a lot of conversation around, we need a certified street listing. We haven't had a certified street listing since 2004. But nowhere in the city charter does it say anyone is responsible for creating a certified street listing. The verbiage around it is different. It's for keeping, the clerk is responsible for keeping a record of streets, and the clerk has a record of streets. So again, we've done a little bit more due diligence around the issue. We'll get some documents to the assistant city clerk of this committee to send out. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about it at the next meeting.
Point of information for yourself and the clerk, with this street listing, a certified street listing, where does the title searches or deed searches come into effect on this?
Well, we'd be doing them on our own.
Mm-hmm. So you would do the title search, so you have to have a title or a deed search to have it certified as a private way or a public way?
So for something to be a private way, we need to see something recorded at the registry of deeds.
Mm-hmm.
So, given that we have 300 of them, it will take a little while for us to find each of those 300 plans.
Mr. Chairman, again, in a more perfect world, the city would have these records, right? As each street came into being, it would be properly recorded. And the city would have these records, and we wouldn't be, at this point, going back and, really cleaning up the backlog. And in some cases, we do have the information, and some things are easier to find than others. And again, I would suggest that a path forward that was suggested a few years back, and it was making some progress, and then it got derailed by someone raising the issue of the need for the certified street listing, is maybe we don't try to deal with all private ways at this time. But maybe we try to move this forward by looking at the 70-something ways that are currently a combination of both private and public, right? Most people get that seems to be confusing. So in any event, I'll pull together a package of information and I'll bring it to the next committee meeting. So I move to table.
Thank you very much. On the motion to table, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion has been tabled.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, all those in favor?
Aye.
With that, you have adjourned.
Thank you.